This is iHeart Communities. I'm your host, Jade Harrell, keeping you connected to our community. 3 new Freedom School sites have just opened in St. Louis, just in time for the summer. I'm joined by Alex Stallings, who is the Executive Director of the Freedom School Project for the Deaconess Foundation. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Jade.
So, Alex, I've had folks ask me after I posted it online, what is a Freedom School and why is it such a big deal?
Oh, well, let me start with that second part. It is a huge deal. Yes, it is a huge deal because Children's Defense Fund works nationally, and throughout the nation they have a rich history of elevating children's issues and empowering children and really bringing to light what it takes to change the life of a child. As well, with the Freedom School model, there are measurable advancements in literacy rates for the scholars that attend the program. And what makes this significant for the St. Louis region is that Children's Defense Fund is a national organization with a strong presence in other areas. Mm-hmm. So St. Louis has been missing out. We've had a limited number of Freedom School sites, and with the Deaconess Children's Defense Fund Freedom School sites that are open, with the 3 new ones, it expands the footprint into the most needed areas.
Mm-hmm. So the Children's Defense Fund is an organization that has made its services available all over the nation, but we just hadn't tapped into it until recently. Talk about the connection with Deaconess then. So how did you guys get involved?
Well, certainly. So they have a wonderful week that focuses on child advocates from across the nation, where it's a child advocacy training, rejuvenation, where folks come from across the country to the Alex Haley Farm, which is the heart of Children's Defense Fund. So we spent a week at the farm there, and on site with the families, we got to see a Freedom School in action. And we saw the young people, and they shared at the end of the week what their growth was, what the learnings were, and there was a conversation that took place that really made it clear that Deaconess could be the one to expand the footprint for the young people that we have.
Now, how is Deaconess able to do that? For those that don't know, I really want to be sure that everybody's aware of the Deaconess organization and the work that you all are doing. So let's just dig a little bit deeper with that a little bit. Introduce to those who don't know and reintroduce to those that do Deaconess Foundation and what work you all do to make these things happen all over.
Deaconess Foundation has over 100 years of history in service within the region. But what that service has looked like has evolved over time to meet the needs where they are. So the service delivery has changed and the model has changed. But it has always been about prioritizing well-being. And in its current work, child well-being is a priority, and the way to advance child well-being is through child advocacy. So it's really the ministry of child advocacy. And Deaconess does this work in conjunction with the United Church of Christ. It has faith roots within that denomination, and a broad network of partners and nonprofits within the region are also at the table for these efforts.
And how you're able to expand the work of the Children's Defense Fund is how?
Well, so a portion of this involves funding, and so Deaconess was able to step to the table as a funder, but there was also the opportunity to create buy-in within the congregation. So we have host congregations that are not only opening their doors as a site, but are also contributing funds and investing in the lives of these scholars. CDF students are not simply students, but scholars. And so each of the 3 congregations are also investing into their lives as well.
I love it. So then you went down to the Alex Haley Farm and saw a Freedom School in action. Paint the picture with your words of what it is like and what the children experience and why it's so different.
Jade, it is freedom. Freedom.
Freedom.
That is freedom. Freedom. These are children who are experiencing educational, mental, spiritual freedom. They are free in themselves. They have voice. They have empowerment. They have advocacy and agency within them, and have the affirmation of the community surrounding them. So there are not barriers within the staff that they interact with that are telling them to wait their turn, hold their peace, but they're encouraging them to share, to grow, to learn. And it creates such a joy of learning that even something that's a traditional sort of step in the program, which is read aloud, they'll break into a cheer and a chant for you just because you're about to read a story to them.
Well, look at that. And that sounds like a lot of fun. What moved you so when you saw that? You seem to be really lit up about it.
So I have, my own roots are in the traditional classroom setting. And so I saw that firsthand. I also saw firsthand what it does to the child's natural enthusiasm when things are so regimented and things are about structure and boxes and molds and even the mold of the school. So a child has so many limitations and so many expectations of who they are supposed to be rather than being who they are, that when I could see that what it means to liberate a child and how that actually influences reading, because you can test someone all day long, but that won't instill a love of reading. You won't love it. You'll become skilled at it. So that was really significant to me. That combination of enthusiasm, but also education, because it's not just hype. You'll see the students get hype, but it's rooted in the academic success.
That's right. That's right. And so it will be lasting, Describe the program. We've got a summer camp option. I know there's before and after school, and they go into depth. There's a key emphasis on the reading and the literacy, but we're really excited that this is opening up this summer when many times, going into summer, we're already low statewide with our literacy numbers, children reading at their grade level. But then you get the summer slide. Summer slide is what it's called, where whatever gains they had made tend to decrease. So we've got 3 new schools opening for this summer, and they're free, and they're 6 weeks all around our area. Can you talk about the program and how folks should, let's just start there. Talk about the 6-week program that's available this summer.
Sure. So doors open June 19th, and so we are now enrolling, and that's what you want to do right now. If you have a child who has completed kindergarten and through the completion of 5th grade, they are eligible and they can enroll. So doors open June 19th, and the 5 essential components of the CDF Freedom Schools program are high-quality academic enrichment, number 1. Number 2, parent and family involvement. So there is strategic and intentional involvement of families so that we work with the village and not with the scholar in isolation. Social action and civic engagement. So there's a day of social action that the students will take part in July. Intergenerational servant leadership development. So we have young people who are going to be part of it and are actually taking on leadership roles and developing their own educational experience. Nutrition, health, and mental health with breakfast, lunch, and snack provided daily. So we make sure that they are well-fed and supported and ready for all of this.
Oh, man. And so rewind a little bit to the servant leadership. Now, there's service projects involved in this.
So the servant leadership model is actually, so all of this is rooted in rich civil rights history.
There we go. Okay, so break down the history for me, Alex. I know you know it because you went into some deep work about the heart of this program and the soul of it. What's the history there behind the Freedom Schools?
Yeah, so the heart and soul, I would say, is that of Ella Baker. So she served the movement largely behind the scenes because she knew that it was not about her, that these other leaders, Dr. King and others, could be, should be, and serve as spokespeople, as those in the front. And she took her turn on the mic when she could, but Ella Baker was there to make sure that all of the things that needed to be in place were in place for the movement because the work was just too important. There was lives on the line, and there was quality of life on the line. And so something like not having permits in order, not having chairs where needed, not having meals where needed just couldn't be. And so the servant leader model is one that those who we would generally call them just the teachers, but they're actually servant leaders. So they know that they are there, and they'll be trained to be there to serve the young scholars. to make sure that they are there for them, present each day.
That is fantastic. So it's a full day that the children get to get back into school. And this is not your ordinary school. You can't even call it summer school. It's called Freedom School, like you said. They get to experience a sense of freedom and joy and excitement and learning. When does the program start?
It kicks off June 19th.
Okay.
And it goes through the end of July. And that last week of July, we'll have culminating programs at all the sites. And so you'll get to see your child in action on stage, sharing what they've learned.
I love it. And they will do it in style and energy and song and in dance, won't they?
Yes, ma'am. And the sites are Hope United Church of Christ, St. John's Church.
Where's Hope located?
Hope is on Eichelberger on the south side of St. Louis, and so that's convenient for South City. Mm-hmm. And we have St. John's Church that's on North Grand, and that's convenient for our north side neighborhoods and St. Louis City sites there, students there. And then we also have, within our region, we have diversity in our neighborhoods that's sometimes untapped. And so we have Peace United Church in Webster Grove.
So it's a 6-week program, 8 to 5, food and meals are provided, and the learning and excitement is all incorporated within an awareness of who they are and where they come from. What's the catch? What do you need from us?
Oh, you know what? It is, I think that the catch might be that it's a leap of faith for folks if they're not familiar. Mm-hmm. But just know that while it's new to St. Louis, it's not new.
Well, there you go.
It is just new to St. Louis. And so other places have been rocking this program. Kansas City has sites all over. And these really thrive. And so I'll just mention, too, that in the morning, there are the high-energy literacy activities and the inspiration through Harambe that we talked about there, and so all the inspiration there. Afternoon is filled with hands-on activities, field trips, and, it's at that low cost of free. So all of it is free.
You can't beat that, and really this is a great time to pour into our babies. Where can people find out more and get some more details about the program?
So you want to go to deaconess.org. So deaconess.org, and we are presenting it in partnership with neighborhood houses, and so neighborhood houses will be receiving the applications.
Fantastic. Is there a website and phone number we should call?
For application status, you want 314-561-3336, and website deaconess.org.
Website deaconess.org. We can find out more. Freedom Schools, the Children's Defense Fund Freedom Schools, available to us now and our children, but you want to apply quickly because they do fill up quickly. 3 locations for you to enjoy, and a culminating celebration of all that will be accomplished in this summer and change the way our children approach their learning and their literacy. Alex Stallings, who is the executive director of the Freedom Schools Project with the Deaconess Foundation, thank you so much for always enlightening us on how we can be great advocates for our children.
Thank you for having me.
All right, that's it for this week. If you have questions or comments or have something you'd like to include in the community calendar, you can leave a message on our message box at 314-333-8369, 314-333-8369. And for more information about our show or any of our guests, you can visit us online and listen to the podcasts at Spreaker.com. That's Spreaker.com. And search Community Connection with Jade Harrell. You all be blessed, do blessed, and take care.